There was also a press conference today by the great golden calf of cable news. The haircut heard round the world, Governor Rod Blagojevich of Illinois. No poetry from him this time, but he did give us a long extended metaphor about himself as a wrongly accused noble cowboy.
There was an old saying in the Old West. There was a cowboy who was charged with stealing a horse in town, and some of the other cowboys, especially the guy whose horse was stolen, were very unhappy with that guy. One of the cowboys said, "Let's hang him." And the other cowboy said, "Hold on, before we hang him, let's first give him a fair trial. Then we'll hang him." Under these rules, I'm not even getting a fair trial. They're just hanging me. And when they hang me under these rules that prevent due process, they're hanging the 12 million people of Illinois who twice have elected a governor. If the cowboy who's charged with stealing a horse was charged with doing that in town, but in fact on the date and time that he apparently stole the horse in town, he was on the ranch with 6 other cowboys herding cattle and roping steers. And then he expects that when his day comes to go to court, he can bring those 6 cowboys to say it wasn't him because he wasn't in town, he was on the ranch herding cattle.
Okay, just to get this straight, the governor in this case is the cowboy who was accused of stealing a horse in a town while he was actually not in the town. He was on a ranch with 6 cowboy friends very far away from the town, herding cattle and roping steers, which is why impeaching the governor is like lynching the whole population of the state of Illinois. Okay. There was also the part where he said he was being impeached for wanting senior citizens to be able to buy prescription drugs in Canada. Then he said he would like to call in a few witnesses you might have heard of who would certainly be able to clear his name.
Allow me the right to be able to call witnesses like Rahm Emanuel, like Valerie Jarrett, like Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr. Allow me also to call witnesses like Governor Jim Doyle in Wisconsin and Governor Kathleen Sebelius in Kansas, or Senators Ted Kennedy and John McCain.
I don't think that John McCain's your ticket out of this one, Governor, or Ted Kennedy. I'm just guessing here. The governor then name-checked his lawyer alongside Oliver Wendell Holmes. His lawyer responded a couple of hours later by quitting. He also yesterday told the Associated Press that him getting arrested back in December was just like the attack on Pearl Harbor. Governor Blagojevich is admittedly fascinating to watch, in the same way that it's fascinating to watch my friend's dog Noodles freak out and start barking at the TV whenever that insurance commercial comes on with the squirrel and the speeding car. I mean, this is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs territory. He's like a cartoon politician bad guy from the live-action version of Batman. You know what he also is? He is the man who alone got to name a United States senator. There's only 100 of those. They're really powerful. And it was his call, this guy.
He was on the ranch with 6 other cowboys, herding cattle and roping steers.
That guy got to pick a United States senator. And David Patterson, again, one guy, got to pick a senator from New York. I'm not saying that David Patterson is the way that Governor F-word is, but it is undemocratic and embarrassing as a process that this is how we pick people for the really important job of United States Senator. Kirsten Gillibrand and Roland Burris and Michael Bennet of Colorado and Ted Kaufman of Delaware. No offense to your pre-Senate careers, but you were chosen by governors alone for unavoidably those governors' own political interests, which are not the interests on which the people of your state would base their voting decisions if they got a say in who their senator was, which they don't. This is a dumb process. Senate vacancies ought to be filled by elections. The way I read the 17th Amendment to the Constitution, and I do read it, I think that's actually the way it's constitutionally supposed to be as well. But only 9 states do it that way. The rest let the governors give out these jobs like they're queens picking the Knights of the Round Table or something. We are Americans. We are the proselytizers of small d democracy to the world. Let Governor Blagojevich and all his cowboys today be the poster children for taking this amount of power out of one person's hands. The Senate should not be this embarrassing.